If influence depends on you being in the room, your scale has a ceiling. You can push, you can remind, you can escalate, and things will move. But the moment you step away, momentum disappears. That's not influence, that's dependency, and dependency does not scale. In this video, I'm going to show you something most leadership advice ignores. Influence is not a communication skill, it's an architectural decision. If your outcomes require your constant presence, you don't have leverage. You have labor, and labor does not compound. By the end of this, you'll see exactly why some people scale quietly while others stay trapped inside systems they built themselves. Here's what that mistake looks like in real life. I once worked with a founder obsessed with speed. Every email was urgent, every delay triggered escalation, every meeting ended with "move faster." The team was always busy, but something was off. When he went on vacation, everything stalled. Projects slowed, decisions froze, momentum disappeared. He thought he was driving performance. He had just built a very efficient hamster wheel with himself at the center. Force creates motion around you. Architecture creates motion without you. The dangerous part? Force feels effective. Pressure produces visible results. Send the follow-up, raise the urgency, call the meeting, something moves. You see activity and your brain registers that as control. But pressure centralizes momentum. Everything accelerates around your presence. Remove the presence. The system slows. If outcomes depend on your proximity, you are the operating system, and that makes you the bottleneck. Force amplifies you. Architecture distributes direction. Distributed direction scales. Centralized control breaks. But influence doesn't stop at pressure. It has levels. There are 3 levels. Level 1, pressure. Behavior changes because resistance is costly. Level 2, persuasion. Behavior changes because logic feels convincing. Level 3, architecture. Behavior changes because the environment makes the preferred action easier than the alternative. Pressure creates tension. Persuasion creates agreement. Architecture creates inevitability. Imagine a company that wants faster execution. Level 1 sends urgent emails. Level 2 explains why speed matters in meetings. Level 3 asks a different question. Where is the friction? Are approvals too centralized? Are decision rights unclear? Is information delayed? Remove friction. Speed increases, not because people tried harder, because the system stopped resisting them. But here's what happens when you stay in level 1. When influence is personal, 2 quiet things begin to happen. First, initiative shrinks. When every decision routes through you, people stop deciding. They don't resist. They wait. They learn that action without your approval creates risk, so they slow down. Not because they lack ability, because the system taught them to hesitate. Second, risk concentrates. You become the single point of failure. If you burn out, get sick, shift attention, or simply misjudge something, the system destabilizes. That's not leadership, that's structural fragility. It may look like control, it may feel like authority, but it is dependency disguised as influence, and dependency does not scale. Influence that requires supervision is labor. Influence that survives absence is leverage. So what actually makes influence structural? scalable influence doesn't live in personality, it lives in structure. There are 5 places behavior is quietly shaped. If you redesign these, direction changes without pressure. Incentives. People follow rewards more consistently than instructions. You can say, quality matters, but if speed earns bonuses, speed wins. Behavior follows incentives. Influence begins where incentives align with intention. Decision authority. Speed is not about motivation, it's about permission. If every decision requires escalation, momentum depends on proximity. Move decision rights closer to execution. Pressure disappears. Architecture replaces reminders. Defaults. Defaults are invisible influence. What happens automatically? If the default is everything needs approval, control concentrates. If the default is move unless risk is explicit, momentum distributes. People rarely fight defaults, they flow through them. Status signals. What earns respect in your system, visibility or ownership? If performance earns status, people perform. If responsibility earns status, people build. Status shapes behavior faster than instructions ever will. Information flow. Who sees what? When information is hoarded, control centralizes. When information is accessible, judgment distributes. Influence scales when context scales. If you are constantly correcting behavior, your design is misaligned. You don't need stronger communication. You need better architecture. And there's a simple way to test whether you've built it. Remove yourself. What continues? If direction collapses, your influence was personal. If momentum remains, your influence was structural. Structural influence compounds, personal influence plateaus, and this is where wealth thinking begins. Wealth is not built on intensity. It's built on systems that move without constant supervision. Influence that depends on you is labor. Influence embedded in structure is capital. Force demands your energy. Architecture preserves it. The moment outcomes continue without your pressure. You've stopped managing. You've started building leverage.